This is the mind hack.
So so beyond the self-awareness and keeping that in mind throughout the day, is there anything beyond that, or is it pure self-awareness?
Yeah, if you can be aware that you believe money's hard to make, or that you can't trust people, or that there's not enough time, right? But so what? The next step is to say, well, this feeling that I don't have enough time doesn't feel good. So it must not be true. And so the opposite must be true. And then you'd go, well, but I do have enough time? How could that be true? And you start to really discover new philosophies for yourself. For example, I used to be overwhelmed all the time. And if you look at overwhelm, the belief behind it is there's not enough time. I'm not going to get it all done. If I don't get it all done, I will fail, it will fail, I will be a failure. And I have no help and I'm doing it all alone. That's generally the recipe for overwhelm. But none of that's true. The truth is that I'm co-creating with intelligence. That synchronicities and coincidences have shown up throughout my entire life. That oftentimes when I thought I needed to get something done on a timeline, I learned later that the timeline wasn't really the timeline. It was just something I made up in my head. That so many times resources have shown up at the 11th hour to support me in accomplishing something I needed to accomplish. That in those times where I wasn't able to accomplish it on time, I was able to look back and see that that was absolutely perfect, because it changed the way that I actually did it when I finally got it done. And so now when I'm overwhelmed, I notice the thinking that shows up that tells me if I don't get it all done, I'm going to fail. But I also have this capacity now to go, but that's not even true. What's true is I put in a solid effort and I do the best I can today and I surrender the rest till tomorrow, right? So that's going beyond self-awareness. That's changing your perception of reality. It's changing your fundamental beliefs through using a simple process and tool set that now allows me to relax when I used to be overwhelmed, right? The irony, of course, is that if you're overwhelmed, you will run out of time because you're not operating from an efficient and powerful place. So that's why I said the key to everything is to return to a relaxation. A relaxation is a connection with reality, with what's real, right? And what's real is life doesn't demand more from us than we're able to deliver in the time that we're allotted. That would be a cruel universe, wouldn't it?
Beyond the idea of self-awareness and the idea of trying to transform, is there anything? I know your seminars are probably have so much information, but are there sort of small things that people can do? Little, I don't know, if there's like an action somebody could take or an exercise that somebody could do on a daily basis that could help them?
Yeah, so I think you need a couple of things, Jordan. You have to have a philosophy. And this is why real transformation is challenging for so many people. You have to have a philosophy. And we talked about a piece of the philosophy. Life's always working for me. It's a powerful piece of the philosophy. Number two, you have to understand how you operate, right? That the thoughts that you think are happening automatically as a reaction to the experiences that you're having. And that any thought you're having that's causing you to move into a primal state or not feel good is a limiting belief, right? And then it's to begin questioning your own thinking through that lens. Say, okay, if life is always working for me and this thinking is causing me to move into a primal state, it's not true, but it seems true to me, right? Now you begin to explore the thinking. Are there other possibilities about what's going on right now? And so that's, for me, that's the process, because ultimately from there, you can start to make some new decisions. We teach a concept called the power of decision, which is that the moment you decide something new, it radically transforms your experience of life. So if we can get you to decide that money's easy to make, then all of a sudden you'll start having thoughts and ideas about making money easily. The part of your brain called the reticular activating system that's been paying attention to how hard it is to make money will recalibrate and start paying attention to easy ways to make money. So you'll start perceiving opportunities. And then you'll also start creating synchronicities and coincidences to make money easily, right? Decisions are powerful. But in order to free yourself up to do that, you've also got to be able to see that your previous belief that money was hard to make is unintelligent and doesn't make any sense. So if I was going to give someone something simple to walk away with, it would be, it's not a simple conversation. You know, I don't want to, there are a lot of tools that teachers are putting out there as the quick takeaway, right? And I think in many ways it does more harm than good for people, because they collect all of these individual hacks, but they're still experiencing a significant amount of unintelligent thinking patterns, and they don't know how to change them. And so my biggest takeaway for people usually is to be aware that there are only two states of being, and that anytime you've moved into a primal state, it's because you're entangled with a limiting belief. And to identify the limiting belief and to explore what the opposite would be. And to see if you can actually find evidence for the fact that the opposite is more true than the limiting belief. It's not a cure-all, right? People spend a year learning our methodologies and our technologies to learn how to develop the relaxation response, to enhance their visualization capacity, to identify the traumas of their past and to integrate them into their nervous system, to learn about the power of decision and how to be more intentional around your creation, to understand how the nervous system works, and to start using it as a guide for when you've disconnected from reality and aren't in your personal power. But that's a manual, right, for transformation. So do people go through it and describe it as a hack? Yes. But, you know, it's not drink 20 ounces of water in the morning with a little bit of sea salt.